just like to apologise for my security guard gang. I'm told to do that at every wedding and no one's ever laughed. And Dave wouldn't let me do this without doing that gang, so I can only apologise. So we've got 3 speeches coming up. We've got Robert, father of the bride, first, and then we have Mr. Lisa Bowler, second, and then we have Ian, who's come all the way over from America to give his best man speech, so I'm sure it would be very flattering towards David. So I won't waste your time by talking, but obviously it's quite scary standing up in front of this many people, especially they put a lot of care into their speeches, so I expect lots of loud cheers, such as... Perfect. I expect you to laugh when you're supposed to laugh and cry when you're supposed to cry, or I'm fine with a microphone in between. I'm watching you all. So, first, can we have a big round of applause, please, for the father of the bride? Thank you. Welcome. Just like to take time to thank everyone attending the wedding today. I would like to welcome David into the Bowler family.
Welcome, David.
These two are taking the families into another generation. Yeah? It only seems like last week when Lisa was in her suit running around with luminous socks and...
She still does that. She still does that.
Hairbands. Yeah. That was 30 years ago. So, now she's grown to be a beautiful young woman. And she's met a wonderful man who compliments her. They both know what they want, and that is each other. They've now become a team, and they will laugh together, cry together, work for everything that life has to throw at them, being good or bad. Raise your glass now for Lisa and David. Cheers. Can I have a big cheers, please? A big cheers. Right. Now, the man of the hour. Feeling? Feel good? Don't be nervous. No one's watching. David, everyone. David.
We've got Silvino.
Good evening, everyone. I didn't expect to be up quite so soon, but you've stitched me up right there. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of my wife and I'd like to say a huge thank you to everyone coming to our special day today. We're thrilled to be surrounded by so many of our close friends and family for this very special occasion. There have been some monumental efforts to get here today, none more so than my best man's wife, Callie. She arrived from Chicago this morning at 9 AM, having spent a 12-hour shift on the gynecology ward. I can't begin to imagine the blood, sweat and tears you've witnessed in her life. But we're incredibly grateful you got Ian here dressed in and on time. With all happy occasions, there is always that tinge of sadness when we think about those who are no longer with us. I've no doubt they would be so proud to share in such a special occasion today, so I'd like to start by raising a toast to absent friends and family.
Cheers. Cheers.
It only seems right to start with a special thank you to our families who have generously contributed towards our special day. Thank you also for the love and support in welcoming us to Lisa and I as the family. Thank you, Robert, for giving Lisa away today and the opportunity to stand here, a very proud and lucky man, being able to call this beautiful woman my wife. I also know there's been a little bit of a concern building up to today, and I know it hasn't gone away, but I just wanted to assure you in front of everyone, Lisa's promised to take very good care of me.
very good.
Teresa, thanks for your weeks of tireless effort and getting everything ready today. It's been a monumental effort, and you look amazing as well, so thank you so much. To my new brothers and sister-in-law, Michael, Mark and Nicole, thank you for accepting me into the family. I've loved being around your individual journeys for the past few years, where we've welcomed Melissa into the fold. Michael and Steph have celebrated the birth of baby Harper, who's just woken up actually to have a dinner. And when Nicole qualified and started working as a primary school teacher. I look forward to many more wonderful times, and Michael and Mark, I actually hope one day I can give you a race and tip the wins. Mum and Dad, I know for a fact you're loving this extra attention today, and you're lapping up the limelight. I wanted to say thank you for everything you've done for me, particularly when it comes to sport. I might not be the England cricketer I once dreamed of being, but the hours you've invested into me have been instrumental in my career and the friends that I've made along the way. It's also an exciting year for our family, with my sister Elise getting married to Kevin. Who's been an exceptional addition to the family. As we all start this exciting next chapter of our lives, it's safe to say that your 36 years of marriage have been a guiding example to us all. I'd like to gratulate the second toast to family. Thank you to our bridesmaids, Louise, Nicole and Lisi. And our little flower girl Harper. You all look absolutely amazing today. Louise, thank you for your efforts in throwing Lisa's hen brunch and taking her for that few nights in Dubai. I'm particularly grateful for that little holiday, having managed to fit into this tightly fitted suit when I didn't have anyone to cook my dinner for 4 nights. While the girls sunned themselves in Dubai last weekend, my best man Ian had planned an action-packed stag weekend to Manchester. Throwing axes, shooting crossbows and driving hovercraft. Unfortunately, planning was all he did. When it was revealed at 2 AM on Sunday morning that all 3 of those activities had been booked Saturday afternoon. Luckily, this little expensive mishap didn't dampen spirits, and in fact I think we was all secretly relieved after Saturday night. I'm however grateful to all the lads that turned up on the stag do over the course of the weekend, Green Dragon and anyone who came to Manchester as well. And I'd also like to extend a special thank you to my groomsmen, so Ian, Martin, Gary and Chris, along with all the rest of the Mitcham lads that I've known since primary school. I've been fortunate enough, wherever in the world we've sort of ended up, we've all stayed really close friends and in touch as well. So with that, I would just like to raise a toast to friends. Over the last couple of weeks, people have asked me if I'm nervous about giving today's speeches, the vows and the first dance, and I tell those people that a lifetime of embarrassing myself on a sports pitch has actually set me in pretty good stead. It was therefore fitting that I was able to invite a small contingent from athletics and cricket today. It was Bennington who, at the age of 14, had already shown me how much fun I can have with a beer in my hand. So I was left to Coin Harriers and my coach Mick to demonstrate what can be achieved with a little bit more discipline and a little less booze.
Order!
Some of these athletes are a talented bunch too. We have 2-hour 30 marathon runner Brendan Murphy, who was the amazing pianist we listened to when we arrived this afternoon. He's also single, ladies. So make sure you don't steal any of your husbands tonight. And fellow Harrier, Matthew Kiernan is kindly filming and producing the wedding video today. I know he's delighted to be asked because it's not often he's able to film from inside a venue.
rub that bit out. I've got the edit.
But I'd like to round this off by thanking everyone involved today for making this such a wonderful day we'll never forget. I've lost me around.
It's the funny bit, right?
Inside the venue.
Before I wrap this up, I suppose I should give a mention to my new wife. Who in the weeks building up to this wedding has already started calling me her first husband. As many of you know, I met Lisa in May 2016. To be honest, I wasn't holding much hope for our first date. Lisa is stunning, intelligent, and let's face it, out of my league. And to top it off, I was taking her to Ponte Nuvo under Croydon Flyover. But it's amazing how 2 bottles of wine can change a girl's perception. The next bit's where I should say the rest is history and raise a glass or whatever, but that's really not what happened, because we were completely trolleyed and decided to stumble onto this horrendous nightclub called Bad Apple, where Lisa offended a guy in a wheelchair by complaining about the amount of walking she had to do. This same guy took us a queue to join us and duly plonked himself between us, turning me into the third wheel on my own day. Luckily, I think that the earlier mushroom risotto had already stolen her heart though. It was about 5 minutes before mine was ready to make a reappearance. And that ended our first date with me being put to bed rather than taken to bed. Neither of us have much recollection of that evening, but what I do recall perfectly typifies why I married Lisa. From the first date, life has been fun, unpredictable and spontaneous throughout. They say you don't marry the person you can live with, marry the person you can't live without. I can't wait to spend the rest of our lives together and to see what the future holds. I also hope that we can continue to appreciate the smaller things, whether that's a binge watching box set or playing hide and seek in the flat. So here's to happily ever after, and please raise one last toast to my new wife Lisa.
Cheers, Lisa! Well done, Dave. Well done, Dave. Pull it up.
So the time has come for me to nervously hand over to my best man Ian. I was lucky enough to be his best man last year, and given the opportunity, I don't think he'd ask again. We've always lived by the rule, don't let the truth get in the way of a good story. And I'm pretty sure that's about to come back and haunt me now. Before I do so, I'd just like to thank him for everything he's done over the last week, of the Crafts aside. He's pretty much blown this year's annual leave on this trip, and I can't emphasise my appreciation for the effort you've made. So do me a favour and laugh at least once, please, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, Ian Mainwaring.
Those who don't know me, I'm Ian, Dave's best man and the ghost who loved stag do. Before we get on with the character assassination, I want to say a few thanks. First of all to all at Lady of Lords Church this afternoon and the team here at Russets for a beautiful ceremony and a wonderful reception. Also, thanks and congratulations to Lisa for planning such a great day. Given the fact that Dave didn't even know the colour scheme a few weeks ago, I suspect his input to the preparations were minimal. So most of my early memories of Dave revolve around sport, particularly cricket. From the earliest, watching him get throwdowns from his dad at Sherwood Park, to a little later when he'd drag us to Bedlam's Cricket Week and get us all blind drunk. By all accounts, he was a decent keeper batsman, even with the odd century to his name. So proud was he with his firsts that his online persona became whitey114@hotmail.com. To be honest, less impressive but just as suitable would be Dave White needs another partner stranded, yet another run out, that's a fifer@gmail.com. From the audience. So after a couple of decades of dedicating entire weekends to cricket, he decided to back away from the crease and step onto the running track. He approached this with his usual gusto and intensity, single-handedly propping up the market for nutritional supplements for the whole of Western Europe. His running career got off to a pretty impressive start, clocking up a sub-5-hour marathon. And he continues to perform pretty well at the Croydon Harriers. How much success he goes on to achieve isn't really limited by his ability or time to train, especially with this working from home. He really is only restricted by his inability to stay clear of injuries for more than 20 minutes. This guy made Jack Wilshere look like Superman. It really is fortunate his passion for sport has opened so many career opportunities. That's right. If it wasn't for sport playing a big role in his career opportunities, I'm really not sure what he'd do with himself. So based on his skills, I thought about a few careers which are definitely less suitable. I think hairstylist can be scratched off the list. Anyone who saw his dodgy Ginger Barnett trying a trendy bleach job in the early 2000s would agree. So traumatised was he just get the same hairstyle for the next 20 years. I don't think chef suits him either. The only entry in his personal cookbook is chicken à l'orange, aka a packet of shit stir fry, and some freshly squeezed orange juice. In his defence, he did try to expand his current culinary repertoire to include shepherd's pie. Don't give him too much credit. It descended him to begging his flatmates, Martin and Faye, on how to thicken up a recipe intended for toothless babies. Any recent visitors to their flat would notice that interior designer isn't a natural career path. When you enter their lounge, you may feel like you've wandered into a dentist's waiting room with white painted walls and no personal touches whatsoever. You're just missing the 4-year-old lifestyle magazines. If you keep walking, you'll go into what most people would call their bedroom. I'm reluctant to use the term, but it really is missing just one critical item. The bed. Instead, you're greeted just by a mattress on the floor. Lisa, you're a saint or a lunatic for letting him convince you that a bed isn't necessary, but every award since a 1993 Sherwood School cross-country participation trophy absolutely must be kept at all costs. Despite his best efforts, evidence has made it clear that police constable isn't his calling. Dave looked out the window one night and realised his pride and joy, this piece of shit 50cc moped, with a top speed of about 28 miles an hour downhill with a tailwind, was being stolen in front of his eyes. Too scared to apprehend the thieves himself, because Lisa wasn't there to protect him. He promptly called the authorities. After calling to report it, the Croydon Columbo over here decided to launch his own investigation. He was running around the local parks and spotted a load of kids doing wheelies and skidding it around. Delighted he was, chest puffed out. Dave phoned the Met to say, "I found the culprits." He was expecting the full response, blues and twos, emergency response. Instead he got, "So? What do you want us to do about it?" So there was poor Dave sitting in the bushes, binoculars in hand, watching his brand new bike being ridden within an inch of his life and not a damn thing he could do about it. Hilariously, because of his inability to throw anything away, he's keeping the broken padlock, which continues to fuel his rage to this day. Along with sport, Dave liked to spend his free time travelling. He's been all over the world, the Far East, Egypt, Mexico, Caribbean. Notably, he won tickets to South Africa, the Football World Cup, with a former acquaintance. That's where he randomly became mates with Chris Kamara, or as Dave puts it, really, really good mates. I'm not sure why Cammy's not here today, he must have lost his invitation in the post. On another trip to the Southern Hemisphere, he went to New Zealand to run, Australia to play club cricket. Over in Oz, he made some great friends and had some decent success. also plays for cricket.
That's generous.
Of all the trips he's made, I think the ones he enjoyed most were the ones to visit me when I was in Texas. These trips were great fun, but worth a mention because they give a perfect representation of Dave's relationship with his friends. He knew his mate would appreciate the gesture, so he offered to visit. He committed to a plan, he came through. We had a great time, and everyone who met him absolutely loved him. And that sums him up. Whatever the distance, Windsor, Oxford, Cheltenham, Aberdeen or Texas, Dave will always be there to support his mates. Whether it's by making a cup of tea, having a chat over a beer, or poking fun at a slight screw-up planning a stag. He always knows the right thing to say or do, and I hope he realises we're always there for him too.
See you, you soppy sod.
And then there's Lisa. On one of my trips back from the States a few years ago, I had the pleasure of meeting Lisa. I was a little apprehensive, so I asked the boys what to expect. She's great. Fun, funny, and doesn't hesitate to speak her mind. On reflection, I couldn't put it any better myself. I thought then, and I've only become more certain over time, that she's perfect for Dave. Great company, patient and supportive, and more than capable of kicking up the arse when it's needed. So Lisa, never change. And I will speak for all the guys when I say we love you as much as we love Dave. And that's not something I say lightly. So in your future together, I wish you the best of luck and all the happiness you deserve. Keep laughing together, crying together, and Lisa, make sure he knows when he's messed up. So with that, please raise your glasses. I'm delighted to introduce Mr. and Mrs. David White.
Well done, Ian. Well done, mate.